According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers to play his favorite sport when the temperature is low. But then the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot. Mr. Adam for his madam is not, 'cause it's too not hot.
Happy Friday, everyone. Happy almost snow day, and welcome to Rchard Skipper Celebrates. Who or what are you celebrating today? I'm celebrating Julie Ewing, who has the most incredible CD. It's wonderful. And her daughter got the opportunity to sing with me not too long ago. We may talk about that today. She's waiting in the wings. I have 4 incredible people waiting in the wings, and hopefully our 5th is going to be here. She got a booking today, so she was going to hopefully get here a little later. I'm not going to say who it is, just in case she shows up. But I always begin my shows with this question: who or what are you celebrating today? Today we're going to be talking about grace. Grace when it comes to our art, grace when it comes to our audiences, grace when it comes to our professions. Because in this business, this is something that we have to deal with all the time. None of my guests know who I'm going to bring on first. I'm just going to push a button, see who pops up. So I hope they're all ready, and let's see who it is. Elvira, how are you?
I'm good, Rchard. How are you?
I am doing great. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You've been here before.
Yes, I have.
And I want to begin by asking you, who or what are you celebrating today?
Well, let's see. Actually, today, I'm just celebrating the fact that I get up in the morning, I'm happy, and it continues to be that way. I never thought about it until you got to like this age where I know, but you just wake up and you're happy to be alive, and you are happy that you've got the energy to do things, and you don't want to take it for granted.
You can't.
That's the most important thing. You just don't want to take it for granted. And my hot water heater went yesterday, $2,900, but I don't care, because you know what? That's it. It got me moving and cleaning and stuff like that. And listen, things happen, and this should be the worst thing that ever happened.
Well, I'm glad it happened yesterday instead of happening this weekend.
Yes, right.
I mean, from what I understand, this is going to be like the storm of the century.
I know.
And I read, I think, 5,000 miles that this store is going to cover. So it's not just what's happening here in New York, where you and I are, but what's going on around the country. And I want to say, for every artist out there who has a show this weekend, I'm with you, because I know there's a lot of stress in terms of, will they show up? Will they not show up? And those are the themes that we're talking about today. But before we get there, the last time that you were on this show, and I don't remember exactly the date, but since then, you've won a Bistro Award. Your show is coming back to Chelsea Tables, as we show here. You've actually taken this show outside of New York as well. Your show, for those, and I saw it and I just loved it. I saw it twice.
I know we did.
And the show is such a great celebration of your past, your present, and your future. How are audiences different from, because it's such it's a Brooklyn story,
Yes.
and yet it's a universal story.
So obviously the first couple of shows, everybody from my neighborhood and my family and friends came. So they were, so they all got it immediately. But funny enough, my sister lives up actually in New York / Pennsylvania, Northeast Poconos. And she had, well, I had actually about 20 people from that area, Northeast Pocono, Scranton area. They came to see the show. And I wondered, I was like, okay, a lot of these people were brought up on not necessarily farms, but just more rural areas. Are they going to get it? And time after time after time, what it came down to was family, grateful, funny stories. The songs that I sang, everyone, people thought of their dad, dancing with their dad. People thought of when they first got married. People thought of an uncle who, even though he might have been up in a rural area, might have been a bookie. Just everybody had some stories. And I have to say that I had nothing to worry about. It wasn't just an Italian story. It wasn't just a Brooklyn story. It seems to really open it up to everyone, and they all seem to love it. And which is why I can't seem to not stop doing it. I'm going to Boston also, went back up to the Catskills and did it, and now doing it with Gregory and Skip Ward and I just
David.
David
Silverman.
Silverman. So I'm taking that and making it just a kind of like, to put it mildly, upping the ante and adding those two pieces and putting it in a bigger space, and hopefully more and more people can see it. And I'd love more of the cabaret community to see it, because to be honest, I did sell out 7 times, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of family, but I want that cabaret community to see it also. So we're just keep on moving and going towards that. And I think you will like it. Definitely.
Well, I know that I love it, and I'm hoping to see it again. But I mean, you have probably the most, and if my sister is watching, with all due respect, you have one of the most supportive sisters that anybody could possibly ever have.
Yes, I do. Well, that's the basis of, we talk about being grateful, and I've been a very lucky woman from the day I was born. I grew up in a family that was very close. It's just my sister and I, my mother and father, and we, there, but for the grace of God go I. Really, I was just lucky with how I was raised and how we felt about each other, and family was always very, very important. And my sister, yes, there's no two ways about it. I wrote this show. She kept on saying to me, no, I don't want to hear about it. No, I don't want to hear it. But I'd say, but I have to ask you a question. Did daddy do this? Did mom do this? Do I remember this? And she'd go, okay, but I don't want to hear it. So that first night that she actually saw it, I knew the tears would be flowing. And if she sees it a 9th time, the tears are still flowing.
Well, if she's watching, everyone should have a sister like you. I want to ask you, because we are going to be talking about grace today, and then we're going to bring on our next guest.
Yes.
When you hear the word grace in relation to your art, what does that mean to you personally? I'm not talking about a philosophical way of looking at it, but how does it show up in your real life, in your day-to-day life, as you're prepping for your show and as you're presenting the show?
I actually had to look up the word. I looked the word up because I was like, what exactly does grace mean? You hear amazing grace, is it being courteous? Is it having goodwill? Is it just being graceful in one's presence? And I thought, I would hope that I'm all those things, and then working and writing the show, I wanted to make sure that, I guess, in a graceful way, I told some stories that could be crude or could be, but I didn't wanted to make sure that they were never that way and that
Mhm.
they were never insulting to anyone or any part of, sometimes the Italians have a little bit of a reputation. And I wanted to make sure that no, that wasn't going to happen. So I wanted to, through, I think, the grace of my telling the stories in a way, I made sure that it kept it to a certain level of goodwill at the end of the day.
That's great. And thank you for looking it up and really delving into this.
I did.
So you're going to bring out our next guest. So
Okay.
you're the Monty Hall of this show. Door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3?
Okay. So I'm going to pick, I think I'm going to pick Billy.
Okay. Now I have to say something. Hold on one second here.
Okay.
Because Billy sent me her new sizzle reel, and it's a little on the large size, so I have to do something a little different here, but we're going to get it on, Billy, so hang tight. And here it is.
I took a walk in the rain one day on the wrong side of the tracks. I stood on the rail till I saw that train just to see how my heart would react. Well, some people say that you shouldn't tempt fate, and for them I could not disagree. But I never learned nothing from playing it safe. I said fate should not tempt me. I take my chances. I don't mind working without a net. It's the sound of the rain coming down when you fall asleep. It's a call of a friend that you love but never get to see. All the time you can waste trying to chase what you'll never need always comes back around to simple things. Me and Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on, and the whole world is on your case. I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in New York, New York. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club, Pink Pony Club. We're just inseparable. That's how it is. Inseparable for the rest of our years. It's so wonderful to know you'll always be around.
There we are. We're here. Billy, I'm sorry about the technical aspects of this, but
I can't hear you, Rchard.
Can you hear me?
I don't know
Elvira?
why. I couldn't hear
can.
my.
I can hear you, Rchard.
I can't hear you either, Elvira. I think I'm going to log out and log back in again because for some
Okay,
reason I
do
can't
that.
hear you.
Come
You might
back.
want to go to someone else.
No, we'll talk about you until you come back.
I'm going to log out and log back in.
Okay, good. No, because of the size of that clip, I was not able to bring that on. Hold on, I'm going to remove her here. I don't want to ban her from the studio, kick from the studio, and we'll get her back on. While we're waiting for her to come back, let's bring on another guest.
Yes,
So pick door number 1 or door number 2.
Juliet.
There she is. And we'll bring her on. And we've already seen her.
Hello, hi.
Hello, Juliet. How are you?
I'm great. So lovely to see you, smiling, gorgeous people.
You too. So who or what are you celebrating today?
You know, I'm celebrating the idea of new challenges, new scary challenges, things that scare me, which I try to do. And I'm facing a new exciting couple challenges, but not challenges like terrifying, just stretching myself to not be afraid to go back to, what my roots and what I love. I'm doing a couple projects. I spent like a week turning my cabaret show, my 1-person cabaret show, into a 4-person show. I'm doing it at a theater outside Pittsburgh in May. And I had to write a script, which I've really never done. So I got some people to help me, and I had to like come up with stories and going back to my theater roots, which I love, which, it comes naturally, but I hadn't thought about it, and reframing it and giving my little babies away. The songs that I sing, I had to assign to people, and delving in and thinking about the kind of people we want to hire. And it's like, it was really scary, but I'm like, I know I can do this. I did theater for my whole life. And it was scaring myself to do it, but I spent 4 days doing it, and it's on its way. So, and I'm working on a new project, a new album I'm contemplating, and I'm doing new material, scary stuff for me, with a new arranger. So just like, I'm trying to celebrate the fact that I'm scaring myself all the time, but in a good way, but it's just like, I'm not gonna stop.
You're saying that at this moment, you have no idea what it means to me, because
Let me hear
yesterday
it.
I got a call from a playwright for a new play, possibly off Broadway. I have not done a play since I was in my 30s. And I said, I'm about to turn 65 any second now. And I haven't learned a script like that. Obviously, we do cabaret. We create cabaret, and it's a completely different thing. And I said, I'm petrified. And he said, well, that's a good thing. He said, I think you're the right person for this.
Well,
And
I'm sure you are. You know how to do it, right? You know how to do it. You just haven't done it in a while.
It's been a long time.
It's a different skill. It's like, cabaret is wonderful, but you're focusing so much on yourself and how you feel about things and how you tell stories. And then you get involved in a script, or in my case, writing it. How do these characters feel about the song? How do they feel about each other? How is the flow going to work? How are the voices going to sound? What kind of arrangements do I need? That kind of thing. It's a whole other challenge, just looking at the big picture, like a director would, or a producer. And it's different than cabaret, which is wonderful, but it's almost easier in many ways to do a cabaret, because it's just your perspective, right? Unless you're creating a new character. I know you play characters as well, Rchard. So I'm sure you're going to be great. You're just going to have to get over that, terrifying moment.
That you talked about in your show, which was incredible,
Thank you.
was going into the studio and recording the CD, and how different that was for you.
Yes.
And hearing things almost with a different ear.
Absolutely.
Than you used to hearing it. And at theater, and of course you started out in theater.
Yeah, I did theater my whole life. Yeah.
Was it an easy transition for you to go from theater to doing cabaret?
That was pretty easy. Although I feel like in the beginning I was a little too presentational, like I'm a character and I'm speaking to a theater of 3,000 people. So I had to pull that back a little bit and realize I didn't have to sing as loud as I need. Hopefully I didn't in my cabaret, as much as I did on stage. So I had to like pull everything back, be a little more intimate. And then that became a real joy to me, because to pull it back and be very emotional, not have to like fill the hall. And that translated well into going into the studio, because it's more intimate, but it's a different listening experience. People are listening on their AirPods or their headphones. It's not theater. You don't get that luxury of the visual. So you really have to communicate everything, as through your music in a CD. And it's a different kind of challenge. You almost have to put more color and more interest in your voice, in what you're saying, and really grab onto those lyrics even more. So it was a different skill. And it was, like I said in my show, it was very scary at first, because like no one's telling you anything and you just have to believe in yourself. And we all know as performers, that can be really scary. Like what I'm doing is right. What I'm doing is good. Stick to what you believe in. And that is hard. That was a huge challenge for me. I can't believe I decided to do it. I was like, who do I think I am? But I'm going to do it. And it worked out, but I learned a lot. But I keep thinking that, like, who do I think I am? Last night I did a 3-hour gig with these great jazz musicians. I'm like, a couple of years ago, I decided to do this, to go back to jazz and singing. And I'm like, sometimes you just gotta be an egomaniac in your own head and be like, yes, I can do it, and it'll work out. But it's
let
a
me
challenge.
be the egomaniac in your head for just a moment, because one of my guilty pleasures, most of you get my newsletter, and as I'm putting my newsletter together every Sunday, I listen to Donald Feltham and the Broadway radio show. And if you're not listening to this, everybody get on. But this Sunday, you are his special guest.
Oh, is that Easy redoing it this Sunday?
He's doing it.
Yes, because we did an interview a couple weeks ago. He never lets me know. I guess his website has been down.
Well,
it was like, oh, you played me. What's going on? Because you emailed me. You were listening to it. You're like, they're playing your song right now. I said, oh my gosh, you didn't even let me know. He's such a nice guy. We did that interview about, your favorite Broadway musicals, and this whole idea of like, it'll change every single day. And there was a song in there. He's like, no one ever has chosen this song. It's just a funny song that we both know, but thank you for letting me know.
So that's happening on Sunday.
Really
it's a Broadway radio show.
Yeah.
All you need to do, everyone, is just Google that, and it'll pop up. And the following week, yours truly is going to be on the show.
Oh, yay!
Celebrating the music of Jerry Herman. So
of course. Good.
Let me see if I can get Billy back on. Billy?
Oh, yes. Hi.
Yes. Thank you. And I was sorry about the technical glitches that we had, but we got to hear you and we got a chance to see you. I want to say about Billy, because I've known Billy for a long time. And and over the years, I kept saying, when are you going to do a show? You've done this show at Don't Tell Mamas. I think this next performance, is this your 5th?
7th.
7th.
Wow.
And
amazing.
It's happening on my birthday. So everybody celebrate my birthday by going to see Billy, unless, of course, you're on the West Coast, and then come see me in Palm Springs.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So how does it feel at this point? I mean, like Elvira just said, this is it's your baby.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to let go of this baby, but you also have made the decision you're going to create something new for the summer.
Well, I'm going to try, to, and maybe resurrect this and go elsewhere with it and, see what I can do. But I mean, I have done 7 shows and I've been so lucky and I'm so grateful that the rooms are filled every time. And, I was laughing with someone. I said, I don't know if I have any more friends. But
let me stop you. We need all of us. We need to let go of that thought.
Yeah, that's true.
So we just have to say that the universe is going to send the right people.
Oh, that's right. Right. Yeah. So, and I'm just so brand new to the cabaret community. I mean, I just started in April. I had no idea even really what cabaret was,
Wow.
I know that sounds kind of crazy, but, so I just, and it's so funny because oftentimes it's like when anyone says, oh, get up and sing, I'm like kicking and screaming the whole way to the stage. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't believe it. And then when I get up there, I'm like, oh my God, this is just where I want to be. It's that feeling where it takes over and you feel at peace with that and a little bit of grace, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So I just started in April and I did 3 shows and they were great. I really enjoyed myself. And then I did another encore of a couple more shows in spring and summer. And then I did a couple more now. So I did one in November and now this one in February or on the 11th. So I'm really excited because I also feel like each time you do get more relaxed. You change things up a bit. You get, you let loose a little bit more. That clip you saw, that sizzle reel, that was my opening night.
Wow.
So that was I'm 6 shows after that now, So it's been great and I've loved the people and I'm always trying to get more of, like you had said, to get more of the community in there as well. Elvira, you had mentioned that. And because I just want more people other than just family and friends,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So any
And I
chance,
am getting that, but it's like you even want more.
Well,
any chance that you're going to take? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, it's great thank you, Rchard, for introducing us to, all these people in the community and that's because even though, me too, I mean, I'm not that long here. I mean, it's only maybe now it's a couple of years only because, I did the show in 2025, I guess. But that helps, yes. And you do want to, and it's such a wonderful community, and you get to see people, you go to shows, and I just love the fact that I get up and go, and I go out at night, and it's great, and I see all my friends and people that now have become friends, and
It's so nice. I totally agree. It's such a beautiful community. I tell people all the time, I'm also new to the cabaret world, not new to theater, but performing. But I say you can go by yourself. If you have no one to go with, you go sit, you meet new people. Somebody will talk to you. Do you know that person? No, I don't know that person. Hey, let's be friends. I mean, it's happened every time, and I just love it.
How did I meet you?
Yeah, I met you when I went and saw KT. I'm like, hi, I've heard.
Right up here in my own neighborhood.
Yes, and it was so fun. I've met so many people that way, and I think it's a great thing to meet people. If you're single or not, or you just want to go up by yourself in New York, I tell anybody, go to a cabaret and you will have a lovely time. You'll be warmly welcomed. Go see anything at Don't Tell Mama. I think it's a beautiful community of people. It doesn't feel competitive, whereas theater to me can be sometimes very competitive. When I was in the business when I was younger, it was very cutthroat. You never told anybody what audition you had ever. You would never share that. You would never share what songs you're singing, where you're going, what opportunities out there. It's kind of the opposite of that. It's like, hey, I'm doing the show. You're doing the show. What are you going to sing? That'll be great. And it's very supportive. So it's maybe it's just for, more mature people. They're more confident. They're kinder. But I find it to be, I'm thrilled that I'm trying to involve myself more in the cabaret community. It's a beautiful place to be.
Well, what I love about the cabaret community is the fact that the uniqueness that everybody can be their authentic selves on stage.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And just present that to the world. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel personally a competitiveness in this business.
Yeah, I don't see that
what
either.
I bring to the table, and and I go to celebrate what other people bring to the table. Speaking of bringing to the table, I want to bring before I bring Martin on, let's get a sample of what he's doing, and I'll bring him on in a moment. Here he is.
Making music for true need and pleasure, 'cause me and music, we go together like nose in a method. As I'm singing, then the world's alright and everything's swinging. Long as I'm singing my, long as I'm singing my, long as I'm singing my song. Sometimes a day goes by when I don't think of her till morning comes, and then there she is. Yesterday she loathed me, now today she loves me, and tomorrow my teeth ache for the urge to touch her. I'm speechless, for I mustn't tell her. It's wrong now, but it won't be long now. I'm not the guy who cared about love. I'm I'm not the guy who cared about the fortunes and such. I never cared much. Oh, look at me now. And I never knew the technique of kissing. I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch. Never cared much. Oh, the streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair, and as we kissed and said goodbye, except now and then in a row, I get that all, yes, wrong. Naturally, once in a row, I do as the romance better came on up. Darling, I know, when in love, I do as the romance. I love Paris every moment. Oh, every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why do I love Paris? Because my love is
Hello, Martin. Welcome to the
Hey.
show. That's incredible. I want to let everyone know, as you see on the scroll, Swinging in a New Direction dropped today. Dimension,
Dimension.
that direction.
Yeah.
And you're going to be at the Laurie Beachman next Friday night. The 30th,
Saturday. Next Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Listen to me. Saturday night, the 31st. I do know that that's Carol Channing's birthday.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So anyway, welcome to the show. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. You?
I'm doing great. So who or what are you celebrating today besides this?
Well, besides, today my album came out today, dropped on all platforms.
Yay!
Yep. Which is great. Will Friedwald wrote liner notes for it.
Oh,
which-
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm thrilled about that. But today, I'm celebrating that there's a lot of gratitude currently in my life. I just actually moved into this new apartment here that you see. I moved in last week.
Wow.
And, yeah. So I'm celebrating that. I'm also celebrating that even in, because we're kind of in a world right now that it's not the best of worlds right now, but you can find the joy in the simple little things. It's such as, you go into your kitchen, you cook a meal, you go to the gym, you go do a yoga class, you do stuff that enriches your artistry. We're all facets of life. And I think that it's not only one thing. I think that everything, outside of like performing everything informs everything else.
I absolutely agree with that. I've always said that I firmly believe that if everybody began their day with a show tune, there would be no strife in the world.
Right, exactly.
I totally agree with that.
But, Julie, you alluded to this a few moments ago. How lucky are we in New York that we have choices?
Mm.
You can go to any cabaret room tonight.
Yeah.
All of the rooms that we're all going to be performing in. We can go into any of those rooms tonight, see an incredible show, and the best things happen here. My sister, God bless her, in South Carolina, she doesn't have the choices that we have.
Yeah.
Right.
And most people around the country, their exposure is through television, streaming platforms, and etc. So
Yeah.
how lucky are we that we have this in our lives?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's nothing like it when it's live.
Right. Exactly.
Nothing.
No.
It just can't compare.
I totally
So-
agree. And it's scary with all the AI stuff going on and the AI songs I've been hearing, but every time I go out or I do a live gig, I find that people are ready to go out and see live performance and hear live
Yeah.
music. And I don't think that's going away. I mean, it's harder for a lot of musicians and you don't make as much money as, you could doing other things. But it's, people want to be together. I met lovely women last night. A woman was celebrating her 85th birthday. She
Great.
looked about 40. Amazing.
And she
with
was
her-
out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's gorgeous. No wrinkles. Totally gorgeous. And with 2 younger friends. And they heard about me through somebody. And they were the loveliest. And they're out on a Thursday night. I sang at a restaurant. It was completely packed of
Right.
people wanting to eat, wanting to be together, talking, listening. I was so shocked. I'm like, it's a Thursday in January. Like I'm so surprised by this. So I'm always heartened when I see that when I do anything live, people do want to be out, and the people who are going to go out are going out. Some people are never going to leave their sofas, and that's okay. But I still feel like people want to go hear live performance, cabarets, jazz clubs. They're out there and they're full. So we got to keep doing it. They need us.
Mhm.
Right.
That's great. I'm gonna bring on Cynthia because she made it.
Yay.
All right.
Hello, Cynthia. How are you?
Hello, I'm okay, and I'm happy to be here.
We're thrilled that you're here. I
Thank you.
told everyone that there was a possibility that you may not be here because you had a booking this afternoon.
I did. It was an unusual booking. Yes, not a booking that I would want to have every Friday afternoon, but I'm happy to be here. So,
No.
thank
So,
you.
I mean, today we're talking about grace. I mean, first of all, anything coming up that you want to share with everybody?
For me right now, no, things are a little bit on hold. My life is a little. There's some health things going on, so I've had to sort of put everything on hold for right now. But the good news is that I've been writing more. I've been doing some creative writing, taking a online creative writing class that's been really fantastic. And I've been able to go see people's shows, and I just love that. So I'm feeding my soul in that way. But for me personally right now, not until probably the end of the spring. I'm a little bit in hiatus right now. So
Well, somewhat. With everything that you've been going through, and I know that first of all, your blog about the whole experience was just amazing to me. Were you writing before all of this began, or did this open a whole new creative vein for you?
no, I've written a little bit. I mean, I wrote my solo show. I have a one-woman show about being a classical pianist and coming to New York as a classical piano student to go to Manhattan School of Music. So I wrote a whole show about that I toured with a solo and fringe festivals in Edinburgh. And then I've written a couple of cabaret shows that I've been in. So I've written those. And then creative writing wise, I've done a little bit stories, but when I had this opportunity to take this online class, I thought, oh, let me do that. Let me take the class. And it's been great because we get prompts and then I start writing the prompts and then I find out that I have this very quirky, funny sense of humor. So
I mean, there's a lot that have been going through, and whether you want to talk about you writing about it.
I mean,
So
I'm happy to talk about it, but I don't want to make things totally weird.
Well, I don't think it's going to make things totally weird because to me, your story, I think you should tell because you caught this early enough
Yes.
that you're able to write about it and tell us all about it.
Yeah. So at the end of August, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So I had surgery at the end of September, and then I started chemotherapy at the end of October. So that's why I'm sort of off sometimes and off on other times, and I can't really take on a big anything because so it's just been a whole interesting experience. Thank God we caught it early, and I feel very lucky about that because it's something that oftentimes doesn't get caught early. Like people think they have indigestion, and they're like, "Oh, I'm old," They just keep taking their indigestion pills, but no.
Wow.
So anyway,
Wow.
yeah.
So your advice is that if you're feeling something, check it out.
Well, my advice, is to pay attention to your body, and if there's something unusual that's going on, check it out, because I could have easily not checked it out, and because the health industry just takes time. Every step of it takes a little time until all of a sudden it's like urgent. So yeah, that would be my advice to anybody. And I'm not a person who I'm not a hypochondriac at all.
Right.
Not at all. And I'm sort of like the healthiest person I know, and my husband's knocking on the door. No, but I can't talk to you right now. No, I did not. Okay, goodbye. Sorry. I have a very
I just want to say, first of all, I want to thank you for all of us that you do write about it, and that you. I think your writing is incredible. So I thank you for that. So
thank you. So what Rich is referring to is that I wrote an editorial. My oncologist, I was talking about my hair because I worry about my hair all the time because but he told me my hair follicles would toughen up. And I thought that was just so hysterical, that phrase. So I wrote a whole essay about my hair follicles toughening
That's
up.
so funny, though. What a great idea.
Right? Isn't that hilarious? I've never heard of it.
I mean, that is like, how would you even do that? I don't know. Give him a good talking to? I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't
Cynthia,
know.
I see a show about this in the future.
Actually, I did too.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking that
You got to sing songs from hair.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking, if I make it through all of this, that I think
you will.
So yeah, I will make it through it, because believe it or not, in a crazy kind of way, I'm the healthiest person I know, except that I have cancer. So like, that's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, yes, I think a show is definitely in the future.
Well, I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad that you're all here. And we're going to do a little round robin thing for a moment, all about grace when it comes to our art. And I'm going to start with you, Elvira. And I want to ask if you can recall a moment in your career when grace carried you through a difficult or an uncertain time.
In my singing career or in my, okay.
Any of your careers. And I know your story. Go back and watch the other show. We talked about a lot about that. And you talk about it in your show. An excuse to get everybody to get there.
Right. I guess, I wouldn't, oh God, I hate being first. Okay. I don't really have anything that I can say specifically. And sometimes for that, okay, this is going to be, that sounds strange. Because I don't have that, I feel sometimes a little bit like, when's the other shoe going to drop type of thing. Does everybody
Absolutely.
understand?
Absolutely.
My first career was in the fashion business. I had a fabulous career in the fashion business, and we had, and I had, ups and downs and crazy. But again, I got through it always with sense of humor, with just being very diplomatic and being very even keeled. And that's what I'm pretty much even keeled. And then when I was thrown kind of a left hook and didn't have that job anymore, I decided to do something that I wanted to do, which is sing. And there was a couple of things that stopped me. And again, I just kind of went through it. And then there was the pandemic. And then I was like, Jesus, okay, let's try it again. And then finally, that whole time I was writing The Bookmaker's Daughter, just because, again, it was something to do during the pandemic. And then I was fortunate enough for it all to work out. And again, I said to myself, again, I'm very pleased and very grateful for it all working out in the end.
That's great. And the awards started flowing in.
Oh, yes, please.
No,
But I
great.
am grateful grateful for that. I'm grateful to Sherry Ecker and the Bistro and Mac nominations. I mean, that was something like I didn't even know what those things were. Never mind.
That's so
Never
good.
mind getting them. So yes. So again,
Great.
I'm one lucky gal.
That's great. Juliet, how do you extend grace to yourself as an artist, especially when things don't go as planned?
Well, I think to me, grace, I've been thinking about this. Grace is, in my mind, forgiveness. It's forgiving the people around you and forgiving yourself for making errors or not being perfect. And when I was younger in show business, I remember in a particular moment talking about in your career what happened. I had a bad situation on stage. I was doing Crazy for You in Europe, and there's a bit where I have to, this very, very large man who sits on a chair, and I have to lean the chair back so it's on the back two parts of the chair, just the two legs, and I have to drag him across the stage, and he stops, and that's the cue for the band to start, and I start the song. Well, and I'm wearing very high heels and the whole gorgeous gown, and I start going, and I go a little too fast, and I'm going backwards, dragging him across stage, and I go a little bit too fast, and I fall on stage in front of thousands of people. He falls on me backwards. And I even had a little cut on my leg, and I didn't even know what happened. And I remember he got back up on the chair, and we started the number. And the whole time I'm singing the song, I don't even know what I'm singing. I feel like I'm 5 beats behind. Because I'm in pain. It's a mess. I'm so mortified. And I used to replay that in my head all the time for like 20 years. Like, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I made that error. And I was so grateful that night when the audience left. I'm like, go away. Then new people will come around. They don't know I made this horrible error. So I used to do that to myself all the time. Replay the things that were bad, that I screwed up. And now I don't do that anymore. I finish something, whether it's just my regular day with my family or singing or a gig or whatever, and I put it away. I think about it for about 30 minutes. I give myself time to think, what did I not like? What am I going to do better next time? And I note that, and then I move on. And to me, that is grace. So that's what I'm trying to do, not beat myself up over the head about things that are not perfect, because no one's perfect. And we all know as performers, when we see little mistakes or little mishaps on stage, they're fascinating. And then the performer recovers, like, oh, I can't believe I forgot the words. I forgot the lyrics or whatever, something fell. And it's charming, it's endearing. And we all have to remind ourselves of that we don't have to be perfect all the time. And the giving yourself the permission, that it's kind of a cliche to fail, but I don't want to say fail. I mean, try different things and make little mistakes and figure it out the other way. And I think that is the grace I give myself, and I give my musicians or other people on stage, to it's okay. We're in this together. We're presenting something to people to bring them together, to enjoy the music, to enjoy their evening, to get to know us. And that's the way it's going to be. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be great. And I think for me, I battle with that, but I'm much better at now giving myself grace and the people around me grace on stage and in my life.
That's great. Remind me sometime to tell you about the night I fainted on stage.
Oh, no. I want to hear that.
Yes.
I want to hear that.
Yes. So Billy, has an audience member, a collaborator, a mentor ever modeled grace for you in a way that has stayed with you?
Oh, I think so often when you do meet people, and I will say that I agree a lot with both what Elvira and Juliet were saying about you can't hold on to mistakes either and things like that and just let that go. I think for other people that I've worked with, when people give me grace as well, it just opens my heart up even more to them, that because I'm trying to be, and I think another word that we don't use very much is the word kind. People, we need to be kind to one another as well. And I think that when that happens and when that comes back at you from someone else, whether it be I have a wonderful music director, John Fisher, as you know, and many of you might know him. When things come back to you, when someone gives you that kindness or that grace, let's say, you fills your soul and your heart, and gives you that confidence also that, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
That's great. Martin, do you think that grace is something that we're born with, or do you think it's something we learn or something that we choose, especially when it comes to our art?
I think that we're born with it in the sense that, we're born with it in the sense that we have natural instincts. So it comes with that. I think that we learn from it by watching other people. We definitely watch parental figures, mentors, teachers, whatever it is. And it's something that we choose because we choose to be that way. We have the opportunities to be that way, and we choose to be that way. And I can speak for myself because she's watching here. My mother is watching here.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. I was very fortunate, and I've been talking a lot about this with the subject of grace. When growing up here in New York, I definitely had, I had mother figures. My neighbor is a tough Greek Jewish woman, and my mother's a Jewish woman, and I'm an Italian. My father's Italian. So there was a lot of, nobody was non-docile. And they taught me.
Love that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the whole, culture of it. Nobody was, at all. But when I look back on a lot of the lessons, especially just moving into this apartment here, I learned that those people, and especially those two mother figures. I mean, my father was always around, but those two were like, I was just right next door next to each other. But those two, like, never would say to me, you're this, you're that. They would tell me things so that it was for my future self, so that my future self would know, okay, this is your responsibility. That's your responsibility. And I think that's why I developed the subject of grace, because of being surrounded with that. And it's all about your surroundings too. So I was very lucky at the same time.
Well, Martin, you and I can both say, being on this show today, it's all about being surrounded by strong women.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's part of it,
Yes. So, Cynthia, how does grace influence the way that you take risk or stay open on stage when it comes to your own creative process?
Well, I think everybody has sort of touched upon that, the idea that it's never going to be perfect ever. And that was a really hard lesson for me to learn, because I think that I struggled for a long time as a pianist, mostly, I struggled with memorization and worrying that I was going to forget and worrying that I was doing it wrong and worrying all of this stuff. And what I began to realize later is that, first off, 90% of the people that hear you or see you, they don't notice anything, right? And we all torture ourselves. I torture myself, I missed this word, or I missed this entrance, or was I flat on that note, oh my gosh, all these stupid things, and so I've come to learn that actually giving myself that grace, as you call it, and that kind of expansiveness actually allows me to be freer and more comfortable, but also it allows the people around me to be freer and more comfortable. And I even find that in my teaching, because I teach piano lessons. So that I find in my teaching that giving my students that kind of, everything is a possibility. It's not like this, but everything is a warm possibility. And there's all this creativity that goes on within all of that. And I think that it's easy to forget about the creativity, that even my solo show, when I was in Edinburgh, I performed it 21 days in a row, like every day and every afternoon. I ran through the show before I went on stage to play my show, but it was really wonderful, because I learned that kind of easygoingness about it, because I was still exploring and still finding out all of the things that were possible, even with that. And even, doing my cabaret show, it's the same thing. Did I go on, should I have gone on the right side of the stage now? I was supposed to do that. It's like, so yeah, I don't know what I just said, but anyway.
Well, the thing is that if you step into the dark, eventually they will find you.
No, exactly. But I think also just creating that warmth around you, that bubble of warmth around you really includes everybody around you, plus you. And it's so freeing.
You must have been, Cynthia, you must have been so relaxed after doing 21 shows. I always say, to myself and to my kids who perform, like, performing has to be something that you do every day. You have to, often, if I'm not singing at least once a week in front of somebody, I'm like, I'm out of practice. Like, you have to, and the more you do it, I mean, the more comfortable you are, the more it's like, this is what I do every day. I sing every day, either for myself or one person or at an open mic or whatever. And I feel like you being able to do that 21 times, that's amazing. It must have been just like, this is the natural me. This is what I do every day. And I'm sure it was wonderful because you were so into it and relaxed, and it was just like your normal state. So that's wonderful.
And also I realized that I'm like an addict. Like, I want to do it, right? I want to create. I can't help myself. I cannot help myself, right? And I used to fight that. I was like, oh, I shouldn't write, or I shouldn't sing, or I should decide. But then I realized, no, like even these paintings behind me, I painted these things, right? Because I just have all of this creativity that's just like coming out. So the performing is definitely part of that. It's like my addiction. And I hope I have it for the rest of my life.
Well, I hope so too. I was watching an interview the other night with Vanessa Williams, and she is always in the mindset of more. I want more of this. I want to do more of that. I want to do more of this. And she said, I'm never sitting and thinking about what I did last night or how my I'm thinking about what's tomorrow. And that's that. We're going to run out of time, but I'm going to give each and every one of you a chance to have your final word. It could be about anything that we spoke about today that you want to build upon, anything that we didn't talk about that you wish we had, or just any final message you want to leave everyone with. And when you finish, I'm going to pick someone. And when you finish, you will pick the next person, and so on and so on. And when the last person says goodbye, I've got a little clip that I want to share with everybody. So we'll go there. But Cynthia just reminded me of a story. Tyne Daly said that when she was a young girl, her father took her to see James Earl Jones in The Great White Hope, which was a major show on Broadway at the time. And she went backstage to meet James Earl Jones. And the first thing he said to her, I wish you had been here last night. It was a better performance. And her response to him was, well, I wasn't here last night. This is all I have, and I had a great time. And I think that we all do that. When somebody comes up, have the grace to say thank you. If they compliment you on a performance, and don't talk about what happened at your last performance or whatever. This is it. I always end my shows with the same message, and that is to go out and do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. Now, for those of you who are watching the show, please leave a comment on YouTube, hit the like button, share, and that will increase the ranking of this video. And if all of you can do the same thing, it helps us all. So do that. Also, check these artists out. Go see their shows. Go listen to their music. Get their CDs, celebrate it, and keep it going on and on and on. I have a dear friend, Sean Moniger, and he says we're all living in the same storm. And I always say we may be living in the same storm, but we're in different sized boats. So always remember that if you're going to be out there in that storm, have a skipper by your side. With that, I'm going to leave the screen, and Juliet, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I just thinking about grace. I think Rchard is a wonderful example of grace. He has grace. He gives us the space to talk. He's so generous, and I love what Cynthia said about making the audience comfortable. And I think that's something that I'm going to take away from this afternoon, just remembering that the more comfortable I am, the more my audience relaxes, the more we all enjoy it together. So I loved meeting all of you. I'm going to go check everybody out, and grace to all of you.
I think you have to pick somebody.
Okay, I have to pick some. Oh, Billy, can you hear anything, Billy? Okay, we'll go to Elvira.
Okay. Thanks, Juliet. Yes, Rchard, you're a doll. Thank you so much. In keeping with the same kind of theme, it does thrill me to think that we're all sometimes in the same boat, because we always think that, how are we going to get through this? Why am I doing this? And when you're up there, and like you said, Cynthia, it's something that you're like, yes, this is where I belong. Billy, that's what you said. This is where I belong. Martin, I know that's where you belong. You definitely look that way.
Yeah.
And yes, and we have to stop beating ourselves up. And I am notorious for that. And I am definitely not forgetting this session, because it will get me through the next show. Thank you, everybody. It was nice meeting everyone.
Be me.
And Martin, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Elvira. Yeah, I feel that Rchard, he's such a, he's really like one of the big leaders in all the communities, especially the cabaret community. But I think that when Grace comes in, it's because we love what we do, and it shines through naturally, and I think the thing that we can do so we can always keep that is to just keep doing what we love. And because there's always going to be people that say things, there's always going to be whatever. But I think if we keep doing what we love and keep at it, I think that our grace and our love for it shines through. I mean, she just said, now I do. I love the stage. I love performing, but I love it for connection and giving it to people. So, all right, Cynthia, take it away.
Actually what you just said, Martin, reminded me that it's easy for me to forget in all of my worrying about lyrics and all the nonsense that fills your silly brain. What I forget is that actually going to a performance is like a religious experience. It's like we throw ourselves into the life of the musical, the life of the singer, the life of the song, everything. And that people take away from that so much. They take away whatever they take away. I mean, that it's a beautiful thing. It's a gift that we give them that people interpret in their own way. And so to me, that's really the grace of performing. And it's not really necessarily about getting it right. It's really about this sharing that goes on between the performer and the audience. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So Billy, it is up to you to bring it all home. So thank you.
Hi, I'm not sure if you can hear me. My audio's been going in and out, but I do want to say how wonderful it's been to be part of this group and to get to know everyone. And of course, for thanking Rchard for including me and also being such an amazing host. And I hope we all have a graceful weekend. And with that, I will just say good night.
Way down south in Tierra del Fuego, near the tip of the Antarctic Sea, live some penguins, in Spanish, pingüinos, and they frolic in the snow happily. But one penguin was not like the others. She was terribly, terribly shy. While the others would spoon, she would look at the moon and watch penguin parade pass her by. But one day as she lay staring up at stars above, another penguin turned her way and fell in love. He told her, "Ack, ack, ack, ack." is like strawberry wine. I want you. You're driving me silly. Yes, Pinguinos, there's no doubt about it. The conversation's getting hot in Chile. When I look in your eyes of yellow, how my wildest dreams unfurled. And now that I've got 'em, I'm here at the bottom, but sitting on top of the world. So let's find us a seal of approval. Before him we'll swear to be true, and we'll build us a nice home sweet iceberg, and make love like Los Penguinos do. Yes,